Turning your phone into a dash cam. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Driver Technologies is Chief Technology Officer Ben Heller. Hi, Ben.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me.
Terrific. Well, glad you could join us, and very interesting company. I'll let you start out with a bit of an overview of Driver Technologies and what you do.
Sure. Yeah, at its core, Driver Technologies is a sophisticated mobile application that is focused on driving safety and accountability. Effectively, it's a fully featured dashcam application with AI layered on top of it to derive insights about driving behavior and safety, both in real time and off the road. Our goal is to make you safer while you're driving, provide a free and low-cost alternative to traditional hardware dashcams, and then also ultimately help educate our drivers and the industry at large about what safe driving means.
So this is an app that runs on smartphones, both Android and iOS?
That's right. Yeah, I'd say iOS is our primary platform now. We're beginning to catch up with Android. The markets are a little different, the requirements are a little different on each of those platforms, and that's been part of our challenge as a business, is to work through how do we actually do something that's doing so much in real time on each of these phones and each of these platforms.
So describe for us the experience here of your customers.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the typical customer varies. We work with folks who are commuters and are just using this every time they get in the car. A lot of our drivers are rideshare drivers or participating in some way in the gig economy, and then small fleets as well. So it really kind of runs the gamut. And a lot of these people are folks who have tried traditional hardware dash cams and have seen a lot of the pain points involved. Maybe they've got an older vehicle, they're not driving a Tesla probably, and they want the accountability of having all of their drives backed up to the cloud. So if anything happens, they can just quickly pull that drive down, send it to their insurer, show it to a friend, or just learn more about what it means to be a better, safer driver. And traditionally, with a hardware dash cam, you're recording onto an SD card, you have to take that out, you have to plug it into your computer, you have to pull the videos down, you have to edit it down to the chunk you're actually interested in. Our goal is to provide a seamless, easy way to interact with video in your car and in the cloud that doesn't feel like a process from 10 years ago, that actually feels like a modern solution. And so you get in the car, you mount your phone, and we actually provide our own mounts to customers. We sell a cooling mount that allows the phone to run even on hot days and hot weather right on your dashboard for a full day's worth of use, and put that phone so it can point towards the road and it'll begin recording everything. And the goal here is to not just record, but also to keep the driver safe. So part of our kind of premium package that a lot of folks are starting to opt into now is safety features, which include driver distraction and drowsiness alerts, as well as forward collision alerts and tailgating alerts. And so this is beginning to really feel like more like an operating system for your car, something that's kind of keeping you safe while you drive. And then you get out of the vehicle, grab your phone, and go. So it's meant to be a very lightweight solution in a lot of ways that actually does quite a lot behind the scenes.
Well, taking the phone out of the driver's hands is making them safer to start with, I suppose.
It is.
What happens if people do get a phone call while you're using this?
Yeah, so you can get a phone call and then return to the recording. You might get a brief interruption depending on how you're answering that phone call, whether it's through CarPlay or whether it's through the phone itself. And there's limitations to either operating system. So on iOS, our app actually needs to be running in the foreground in order to record video. And that's partially on iOS. They want to make sure that anyone who's got the camera active knows that the camera is recording. On Android, that's a little bit more lenient, and our app can actually run fully in the background without any interruptions whatsoever. So you're going to get different behavior on each of the platforms there, but the system is designed to be as resilient as possible. So as long as our app is in the foreground, it will record fully with video. And so typically what I do is I answer that phone call and then switch back to driver, and it continues recording.
And when it comes to these safety features like forward collision warnings and drowsiness warning, how does it alert me? Obviously, it can't do what some built-in systems in cars do, which would mean tapping the brake or something for you. But it
That's
is
right. We're not quite there yet, although, let's talk again in a year or two. We'll see. But in terms of integration, no, we're not sending instructions back to the vehicle, but we believe in giving alerts to the driver in the safest way possible. Our goal is not to distract. We don't want to encourage anybody to interact with your phone. So we're not going to be showing you drop-down alerts you have to tap while driving. The goal is that the system runs and you don't interact with it in any way, which means that we've really leaned on audio alerts as a way to indicate if we think that something's about to be a dangerous situation. And we try to alert judiciously so that we're not distracting you with alerts that might be, erroneous or extraneous. You see a lot of these in-car ADAS systems. They lean towards alerting, I think, a little bit too much. And what we want to do is actually have a really complete understanding of what's happening in the vehicle, and then send an audio alert when we think you're really in a dangerous situation, which means that actually we're incubating a feature that allows us to combine data from inward-looking cameras, if that's enabled by the driver, and outward-facing cameras, so both cameras on the phone at the same time. And we can tell if you're distracted. So if your eyes are closing, you're tired, or if you're looking away from the road. And if we see a dangerous situation coming in the exterior of the vehicle, so you're tailgating or you're rapidly approaching the car that's right in front of you in the lane, we can actually alert opportunistically if we think you're distracted, and we can peel back and not alert if we know that you see the dangerous situation in front of you and are reacting to it. And so we pride ourselves in trying to have that extra layer of intelligence to make sure that our alerts are high value.
What are the differences between the performance of the iOS and the Android apps?
Yeah, in this realm of safety. So to be totally honest, the Android app is still catching up in the safety respect. So we have the forward collision alerts on Android. We don't currently have the driver distraction and drowsiness alerts, or the combination of the two that I just described. All of that is present on iOS. And part of that is because iOS has provided some wonderful tools and frameworks to allow us to port our machine learning models over to those devices in a way that's very, very performant. It's a little bit of a different lift on Android, and the number of devices that are supported and the variety of hardware is a little bit different. And so we're still getting there, and our plan is to have total parity between those two systems by the end of 2023.
Well, tell us about the logs that are kept here and the information that gets stored there.
Sure. Yeah. So we do as much as we can for real-time safety right on the device. In terms of what we send up to the cloud, we send information up for our own usage that's primarily metadata. So for example, for our interior safety systems, we are not sending up the actual facial mesh that's being calculated on the device. All that stays on the device for privacy reasons. What we do send up is, hey, there was an alert at this particular point in time. And then we can try to understand, okay, what is the situation that caused that alert? So we're primarily sending up metadata there. Now, we do offer full backups for our drivers where we send everything up to the cloud. And so our driver cloud solution is one of the reasons that a lot of people come to the platform. You can't really store a whole lot of video on your phone without running out of storage space. And if you're a professional driver, or you're using the app frequently, what you want is for everything to be uploaded to the cloud and then actually removed from the device pretty frequently. So we have an auto deletion policy that applies to the device that will take anything that's been uploaded to the cloud and actually remove it. And then you have that permanent backup. And there you can see video as well as information about your location, the accelerometer data, the gyroscope data from the phone. So really kind of the full complete picture of what happened at a particular point in time. And then you can even generate a share link from there that has an expiration date that you have total control over if you needed to send that to your insurer or you wanted to post it on social media. So we really kind of allow each driver to try to use the platform in a way that best suits them. And we found that the cloud feature is actually one of the biggest perks of our driver premium upgrade in terms of what the platform offers.
And you can access that from a desktop and download as well?
That's right. So you can access it from a desktop. You can access it from directly in the app. There's a link from within your gallery. So the view where you would go and actually see your video, you can see kind of basic information about the trip details. You can review the video, you can export the video to share that, but then there's a driver cloud link, and that has kind of the rich, what we think of as kind of the scientific view of the information that happened during the drive. And there you can see hard braking, hard acceleration events. You can see tailgating events, whether you ran a stop sign, you're looking at speed over limit. So really trying to get into how safe a drive was this, and to let everybody actually understand, okay, there might have been some behavior here I can improve upon. And that ties into what ultimately goes into kind of the top of the pyramid as far as data is concerned here at Driver, which is your driver score. And that's just a single number that distills how safe a driver you currently are.
Tell us about the advantages that you have in using the phone for this, as opposed to having a dedicated dash cam.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of reviews of the hardware dash cam market. And it's actually interesting how many of those hardware dash cams really are just phone hardware wrapped in a slightly different form factor. When you have a phone, first of all, you have a device that's incredibly powerful. You have a dedicated CPU, in most cases, a dedicated GPU. In the cases of Apple devices, you have the Apple Neural Engine, which is capable of running machine learning models very efficiently. And you have everything that comes with that ecosystem. It's a device that drivers are comfortable with, that you're used to interacting with in a lot of ways. And it's really actually, just even in the last couple of years, become possible to light up everything on those devices to get this complete picture of what's happening inside a vehicle. When you think about phones that you're carrying around in your pocket, it's pretty impressive, really, what it's capable of doing. And we think of them typically as tools that can, maybe they have a camera, maybe they can take photos, maybe they connect to the internet, but there's so many other sensors on a phone that can tell you exactly what's going on in terms of the orientation of the device, how much G-force that it's susceptible to. And so they're really powerful things. So why would we actually go out and design a system that maybe doesn't have full internet connectivity, doesn't have all of those sensors baked in, hasn't been tested by some of the most reliable and renowned hardware companies in the world, when pretty much everyone is carrying that around with them? The goal for us is to use ubiquitous technology to actually improve lives globally. And while we're still mostly US focused right now, we want to move into all of these markets around the world where cell phones are common technology, but access to expensive dash cams may not be. And so we've really engineered our software to run pretty dynamically and to accept the capabilities of the hardware that it's given to it. So we're really excited to hopefully move into countries and areas of the world where maybe low-end Android phones are the norm, and iOS, the latest iPhone, isn't quite as popular. And so that's, I think, a lot of the appeal, is to be able to be a platform that is ubiquitous and to run on that ubiquitous technology.
How much data are you using while someone is driving?
Yeah, so it's pretty variable. So we actually allow setting different video qualities, different image qualities, different sampling rates for a lot of our data. But by default, for somebody who is not a driver premium user, we're using very small amounts of data. We're really sending up kind of what we refer to as an accountability data set. So just the bare minimum to try to understand what's happening during the course of a drive. And everything that gets sent to our servers at that point is this fully kind of anonymized aggregate level data, where we're really just interested in driving behavior. Now, if you want to send up the HD video and you're looking in the cloud to see all of the drives getting up there, we actually offer a toggle to allow the driver to decide whether that goes up only via Wi-Fi or whether that goes up on your cell plan. It's becoming more and more popular for people to have unlimited cell plans. And so a lot of folks are saying, well, I want to get everything right up to the cloud as soon as possible. What if something happens? Let me just push it up while I'm driving. And that's absolutely an option for you. But by default, we actually will wait until that Wi-Fi connection appears in order to upload anything, because obviously we're cognizant that video takes up quite a lot of bandwidth.
Tell us about the plans that you have and the pricing.
Yeah, so fundamentally, if you're looking at using the app just as a dash cam, it's free. Maybe you're not interested in the cloud features. Maybe you're not interested in some of the safety features. Maybe you don't need some of the perks that we offer. We offer gas discounts through Gas Buddy. We offer roadside assistance through Honk. We offer actually eco perks that will plant trees for your miles driven. And so those are kind of richer features that you can access through Driver Premium. But if you just want to use it as a dash cam, totally free. At a $4.99 price point, you can subscribe and get access to everything that Driver Premium has to offer. Price points above that are typically reserved for kind of enterprise and fleet level integrations. So maybe you're a small fleet of carpenters and you've got 5 vans. Doesn't make sense for you to invest in an incredibly expensive program to have something like a Samsara, right? Fleet management software. Well, you can use Driver as a lightweight fleet management solution for that size of fleet at a higher price point. And we actually offer programs that allow folks to have their own dedicated second devices. So if somebody maybe doesn't have a phone or they don't want to use their personal phone for driving for work, you can have Driver Premium, and Driver will provide a welcome kit that includes an iPhone, includes our mount, and kind of custom onboarding. And that's at a slightly higher price point. But really, we're talking about $4.99 for your average consumer to a month, to subscribe to Driver Premium.
Tell us what your thoughts are about how this will fit into the picture in newer vehicles, many equipped with cameras, sensors, etc. Some offering some of these features, safety features, but maybe not all.
Yeah, I love that you asked this question. Originally, I think folks would have thought, well, there's a lifespan to this type of kind of interim solution. What we've really seen is most of the cars on the road are 10 years old, and folks are actually not buying new vehicles at as fast a rate as you'd imagine. So we're going to be around, especially if you look at the global markets, for folks who have so-called dumb cars and want to leverage their cell phone to get a lot of these features for, I think, quite a while. But we're also beginning to integrate with platforms like TomTom's Digital Cockpit. We actually co-demoed at CES with them. And that's actually a lot of the use case for our Android code base. Is manufacturers are finally realizing, listen, like, we're not going to write our own totally bespoke in-car entertainment system that is, this locked closed ecosystem. We're going to use Google Automotive Services. And so we're actually able to ship the same code for Driver's Android app in many cases onto a lot of OEMs. And there we'll get access to the onboard cameras and the onboard sensors for those vehicles. So we're really looking forward to a future in which our platform can run on whatever hardware is available, whether that's the phone running in an older vehicle or whether that's actually running connected to the sensors and the cameras of these newer cars. And so I think we went from wondering about that future to realizing that we can play a pivotal role in that future and really try to understand what it means to drive safely with modern vehicles.
Terrific. Have you announced any partnerships as of yet?
We have not yet. I think the only one that we've demoed publicly is the TomTom Digital Cockpit, but we're in talks with a number of vendors.
Terrific. For more information, where can people go?
drivertechnologies.com is the best place to visit. You can learn about the dashcam functionality. You can learn a little bit about how we envision our role in science and society. We really try to kind of lay it all out there so you understand the vision of what we're trying to do that goes above and beyond our immediate mission to write great software and provide a quality dashcam solution.
Terrific. Again, it's drivertechnologies.com. Ben Heller, thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you so much. I had a blast.